And welcome everybody to another edition of the Riverside TV Coach's Perspective. I'm Pep Fernandez. Huge game coming up on Friday night. In fact, every single game in the River Valley League is huge, just to be honest. We've got La Sierra taking on Ramona. Watch it live on the City of Riverside YouTube channel, the City of Riverside Facebook page. You'll also find the game on your cable TV channels and watchriverside.com. Joining us live in the studio, the head coach of your Ramona Rams, Ken Mashinsky. Coach, now, last year, it was a five-way tie for first place, so congrats on your first place last year. I thought there's no way that's going to happen again. Right now, there's 4 teams tied for second with the same exact identical record.
Yeah.
What can you say about the River Valley League? Ultra competitive. It makes it fun, right?
It is. It's very competitive. It's funny. I just got off the phone with Chris Fowler, the head coach at Patriot, because they take on Hillcrest. And I wished him luck, and he wished me luck. And he said, we'll try to win. So everybody's 2-1 again. So that's it's an ultra competitive league. It's a great league, great players, great coaches. Really fun to be participating in it.
Now, we got to go back a little bit to that Hillcrest game. I know it was a wacky game. It was 14-3. That was the final score. You guys were up at the break 3-zip. They came back very late in the game in the fourth quarter with a couple touchdowns. Looking back at that game, Coach, I mean, I know that in the moment that was probably a tough one to swallow, losing that one to Hillcrest. Can you guys learn something from that game, maybe going forward through the last couple of weeks of league?
Yeah, it was a tough game against a very, very good Hillcrest team they hit hard, and they confused our offense a little bit. Our defense played great. Their defense played great. It's unfortunate, to come out on the other side of that with a 14-3 loss. But looking back from a coach's perspective, if there can be anything like a good loss, it definitely is a good loss. I think that it will build momentum for us going into La Sierra and the last 3 games of league. And we learned a little bit about ourselves. And that,
I was going to say, what are some of the takeaways?
That's what football is about. Our O-line learned a little bit more about having to play together. And, when things start going bad, people start to get down on each other a little bit. Not just common nature, but our offensive line really took a little bit away from that game in terms of, listen, guys, we got to stick together here. We are the glue that holds this offense together. Our defense has just been lights out for 7 weeks. They've played really well. And we are looking for them just to continue into La Sierra. But, Hillcrest was a very good offense, and our defense did a great job holding them until the fourth quarter. And, they really only gave up 7 points. Our quarterback threw a pick 6 there late. So they did a great job. Kudos to them.
Yeah, I would say if there's a takeaway, maybe that defensive effort.
Oh, absolutely.
Up until the very end, they were lights out against a very good Hillcrest team.
Yes, yeah.
So now you've got La Sierra, and I hope not to be like I'm sounding over-exaggerating here. This is a huge game.
Oh, they just keep getting bigger and bigger.
For
every team, though.
It is, right?
For every team.
Every week brings on a new game. Here we are in week 8 of the season, and you've got La Sierra live on Riverside TV. Just like you guys, they're hungry and desperate for another league win.
Absolutely.
Do you think it magnifies the contest when you're going up against another team that has so much on the line just like you guys do?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I guarantee that what I'm telling our kids at practice, Coach Hedlund's doing the same exact thing at La Sierra. This is a big game for both programs. And, I said this week 5 after we played Poly. I said to our kids, it just is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's exactly what's happening. We played week 6, week 7. Now we're in week 8, and it's like, oh, my gosh, this game is bigger than the week 4 game at Arlington when you and I sat down and talked. And, that's just the nature of football. And it's great to be in a competitive league like this because you can say that. And it gets the juices flowing, and it brings excitement to high school football. I mean, what else can you ask for?
This league title race in the River Valley League is going to go all the way. I know it's going to be week 10. Week 10, we're going to be like, oh, well, if this team beats that team, and there's going to be all these different scenarios. I feel like at the end, Ramona's going to be in the mix. Do you feel like in the end, you guys are going to have a chance?
I do. I've felt that kind of since after the Lakeside, ironically, another loss. I felt our kids, it really affected our kids, and we moved forward and had a few good weeks against Fontana, Arlington, and Poly. And then a huge win versus Patriot. I think we're going to be there. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, you go from a 20-0 win against Patriot, and you turn around, and you were only a couple minutes away from throwing back-to-back shutouts against a very good Hillcrest team.
Right.
So going back to your defense, when you look at your stamp on the program and what Ramona football is all about, how would you kind of describe the way you guys play, maybe offensively, defensively, a hard-hitting team, a defensive team, a team that likes to run the football? How would you kind of describe it?
You know what? Scrappy.
Yeah.
That's what our team is. I keep telling our kids, and I'm not trying to make them feel bad or less of a player, but we don't have a lot of great players on our team. We're just a bunch of scrappy kids that fight for each other. And that's kind of what we tried to
I think the whole River Valley's kind of scrappy,
it's just like, it's like build a brotherhood, go out and fight for the guy next to you, and hopefully you come away with a win. And I do. I think that at least the first two teams we played in Patriot and Hillcrest, that's what it's been. It's been a bunch of guys going out, fighting for the guy next to them. Again, it's awesome high school football.
And again, every single game in the River Valley. I mean, we even saw Jurupa Valley. They
Yeah,
had La Sierra on the ropes.
1 foot.
That was a Riverside TV game as well. So you just never know. Every game is just so important. I always ask the coach, without giving away all your secrets, what do you think are the keys against the Eagles?
Well, La Sierra, they're very big up front. But then again, everybody against us is big. We're not a very big team. Our defense definitely has to stop number 2. He's a special player. He dominated the game against us last year, so we already kind of know that he's the guy. Their quarterback loves to sling it, so we need to stop them. We need to put pressure on their quarterback. And then offensively, we need to regroup. We need to regroup and do the little things that we did against the Arlingtons and against the Paulies, where we can run the ball and throw the ball, become more of a little balanced offense. And get this ball rolling again.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple good practices, and we're excited to get it going.
Is your quarterback, Brandon Osiande, is he kind of the catalyst? Does he kind of make that thing go back there?
He is, but then again, I could say, our running back, Dante Roby is.
Yeah, Roby's great too.
Our receiver, Cornejo. And of course, I'm just speaking offensively.
Yeah.
Because defensively, we have a host of kids that have just played huge games individually and collectively, and that's why they're playing so good, is they really are playing as a unit.
What is it like just to know that you're this deep into the season? Again, it's week 8. I mean, the playoffs will be right around the corner. To have meaningful games. I mean, you could be, winless or already out of the playoff hunt, but right now, like we said, it's almost like you guys are in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. That's what it feels like.
It means everything. I mean, our quarter's winding down in terms of school, and to still have 3 football games left, and it's like, okay, we have to get these games. We got to go. It's everything, because you're right. If you're on the other end of this and your quarter's ending for school and you're out of the playoff hunt already, it's tough to motivate kids.
Yeah.
But we have this going. Listen, you better beat La Sierra or else.
Yeah. Or kind of all goes away, right?
Or it all goes away.
They feel like playoff games already.
Right.
Like when in the River Valley League, it feels like playoff games.
And that's how we sell it.
Already at this point of the season.
Is.
Well, Coach, it's always great seeing you.
Great seeing you too, man.
We appreciate
Excellent.
it. So
Thanks,
it's Ramona against La Sierra. Again, this is must-watch TV. This is going to be a huge game in River Valley League play. Watch it live on the City of Riverside YouTube channel, Facebook page, also on the TV cable channels, and watchriverside.com. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be another wild night in the RVL. That's Coach Kim Mashinsky, head coach of the Ramona Rams. I'm Pep Fernandez, and we will see you next time on another edition of the Riverside TV Coach's Perspective. And welcome back inside Riverside TV for another edition of the Coach's Perspective. Huge game, and I'm probably underselling this because this game is massive. Ramona and La Sierra coming up on Friday night on Riverside TV. You can watch it live on the City of Riverside YouTube channel, the City of Riverside Facebook page. You will also find the game on the TV cable channels and watchriverside.com as well. Join us live in studio to help us maybe, make a little sense of this, Coach. Is the head coach of your La Sierra Eagles, Gary Hedlund. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel like every game is a playoff game in the River Valley League. Like the playoffs have already started for you guys. That's the way it feels like to me, at least.
Absolutely. You have an incredibly tight league where anybody could beat anybody, and every week you have a tough matchup coming up. And Ramona's no different. They're very fast, very physical, and you beat a team ranked in your own division playoffs and go ahead of them in the standings, you put yourself in a really good position. So, yeah, definitely a playoff game.
Not that a single loss is the end of the world, but still the magnitude of these games that we're seeing right now in the River Valley League, again, they feel like playoff games. Like if you drop one, it's like, okay, now we've got work to do. There's an uphill battle now to get to first place. Like you mentioned, Ramona is in the same playoff division as you, so there's extra importance on top of just being a league game, right?
Yeah, because and I learned this last year with how everything ended up in the crazy ties. If you end up tied with somebody who's in your own playoff division, the first tiebreaker there would be head-to-head. So say if we finish tied for first, second, third, whatever it may be.
If you're both, let's say 3-2 at the end.
Yeah, whatever the case may be, you know, the head-to-head matchup there would decide who goes in as the higher seed.
Yeah, like we said, huge implications written all over this game between the Eagles and the Rams. Coach, I know you're coming off a tough game against Norte Vista. How do you guys kind of just hit that, maybe that reset button, right? Kind of just regroup and forget about that one and just focus on Ram High?
Obviously, Novi came out and played really well, and we made mistakes, and we weren't able to come back. But it's pretty simple. Every single game, every single week, the whole year, we've been focused on whoever we were playing. And, you know, we fought hard against Novi, and it didn't go our way. And now all the attention goes to Ramona. They're a very talented team with very talented players. Last year, I think it might have been one of the most exciting games to watch in all of the River Valley League play, our matchup with them last year. And I know the JV game was extremely close. So, I mean, it's an exciting matchup, and we just got to turn our attention to trying to take care of them.
When you have a game that is so big between La Sierra and Ramona here, do you, I don't know, I mean, some coaches will kind of downplay it to their players. Some will say, hey, this game's huge, guys. Don't screw this up kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, where do you fall? Are you somewhere in between in terms of, hey, let's not put too much pressure on the guys, but they need to realize the importance of this game coming up?
I think they do understand the importance of the game. You know, you never want to, you know, make it like it's life or death, because it's not. At the end of the day, it's a high school football game, and we want to help them become better young men and women first.
Yeah.
But if we're able to do that, then the next thing you want to turn your attention to is winning.
And right.
You know, so we all have the goal of going to the playoffs. We haven't been able to do that yet. Last year, everybody knows the crazy five-way tie, and unfortunately, we weren't good at flipping coins. So we had that goal the whole time, and in order to achieve that goal, one of the major wins that we're going to have to achieve would be to defeat Ramona Friday night.
Do you think about that much? Do you talk about it much to your assistant coaches or your players, the fact that, guys, let's not finish in a tie. Like we saw what happened last year. We've got to control our own destiny. Let's just get in, not leave it to chance at the end of the day. Because, again, if you end up in a tie, nothing's guaranteed unless you win league, right? So
yeah, that's
well, you won league. I'm sorry, you won league and it wasn't even guaranteed.
Right. No, we just got to focus on the task at hand. The task at hand is preparing to beat a very physical, fast football team in Ramona, and in order to do that, we're going to have to finish off what we've already had 2 good practices. We're going to have to finish off this week with a great week of practice, and then go out and play the best game we've played all year, because that's what's going to take to beat Ramona.
So we're 2 games into River Valley League play with 3 to go. And I know it's bizarre, but right now we have a 4-way tie for second place. So if you thought last year's 5-way tie for first would never happen again, it's starting to take shape a little bit here with 4 teams, all 5-2 overall, all 1-1 in the River Valley League. Coach, when you look at the standings, you must have to chuckle to yourself just a little bit and be like, man, this league is just so even, so competitive, like anything can happen. Here we go again.
Yeah, you try not to focus too much on the standings, and again, just focus on the task at hand. You know, we're preparing for Ramona. Ramona's the obstacle in front of us in order to achieve the goals that we want to achieve, and we got to focus on taking care of that one step at a time in order to get where we want to go. But yeah, the league is crazy. The you know, they could probably do a whole math show. I know you guys did like a 3-4 minute segment.
We tried.
Did a whole
we still
segment
can't
on
figure
it.
it out.
And you know, the River Valley is going to come down to the final week, and there's going to be crazy matchups. And you know, last year we win on Thursday night, and we think we're in, and then you know, it doesn't go chalk, and then ends up being topsy-turvy, and all of a sudden you're in a 5-way tie, and who even knew how that was supposed to be handled? So, no, you want to focus on the task at hand and control what you can control.
You've been in football a while. Your dad's been in football for a long time as well. Had anyone recalled a situation like that? I've seen 3-way ties for first before in, you know, different sections and different leagues across California, but a 5-way, I've never seen anything like that.
I don't know if it was EPJ or if it was one of the blog sites, but I saw the 2008 Sunset League was the last time in the southern section that it was a 5-way tie.
like that.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Doesn't happen very often.
Listen, right now, who knows? It might happen 2 years in a row in the River Valley League. You just never know. So Ramona come Friday night on Riverside TV. I know they got a great running back. They got a great quarterback as well. When you look at the Rams, what do you see? What are some of the kind of those key matchups with Ramona?
I think they're a physical, hard-nosed football team. They take that straight from their head coach, Coach Mashinsky. He has them ready to go. You see him on the sidelines. We got a chance to see him play Hillcrest live, and he's a great coach. He has them ready to play. They're very fast and physical on defense. They fly to the football, and that's something that is a sign of a good football team, is you're getting 11 hats to the ball, because nobody's selfish on that team. It doesn't come across that way. It comes across like those kids are really well coached by their coaches, and they want to fly to the football, and that stands out, is how fast and physical their defense is.
Yeah, speaking of that Ram defense, I mean, going back to, they shut out Patriot, right, 20-0 in their league opener, and then they come back and they almost had a shutout against Hillcrest. I mean,
they only gave up 7 on defense.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So, I mean, and those touchdowns were late in the fourth quarter, like the final 5 or 6 minutes or whatever it was in the game. So they almost had back-to-back shutouts in league play. So when you see that defense, is a lot of what you're doing this week in practice just, hey, let's get the offense humming. Let's make sure they're ready to go for Friday night, because that Ram defense is going to be ready as well.
Yeah, really working with the offensive line, making sure that they understand their blocking assignments, understand their pass protection, and then just try to make sure that our quarterback understands where everything's coming from and where we feel that we can attack them, and how we're going to try to do that. Because, no, definitely it's a very good defensive football team.
Well, it's La Sierra against Ramona. Again, I feel like I'm sometimes being over dramatic, but this is huge. This is huge. Ramona and La Sierra come Friday night on Riverside TV. You guys know the drill. You can watch it live on the City of Riverside Facebook page, the YouTube channel. You'll also find the game at watchriverside.com, the website, and the TV cable channels as well. Rams and Eagles, the head coach of La Sierra, Gary Hedlund. Coach, it's always good to see you. Come next week, the whole River Valley League might look different again, but as of right now, it's still a race.
Absolutely.
All right, that's Coach Hedlund here on the Riverside TV Coach's Perspective. We'll see you next time.